yours will surely come my way. Every day seems a little longer, every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, do you ever long for true love from me? There you go, baby, here am I. Will you left me here so I could sit and cry? Well, golly gee, what have you done to me? Well, I guess it doesn't matter anymore. Love you like I do.
Another one of the Ford products this year out here at the event is, as you guys remember, Fast Eddie Shartman. We got his one of his cars out here, and we got Kevin Beal. He's the owner of the car nowadays, so we're going to welcome Kevin to the show.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, and pleasure seeing you. I haven't seen you around here. I saw your wife sitting around here, and I said, you know what? I don't think she owns the car.
No, unfortunately, I couldn't make it yesterday because I was out at another show. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yep. So I made it in last night, and we're here today.
Oh, terrific.
Yep.
And I really didn't miss you at all. You just weren't here.
Just wasn't here.
Oh, okay,
yep.
Good. I don't feel bad.
Yep.
Tell us about the car, how you came by it, and you know, a little bit about what you're doing with it nowadays.
About a year and a half ago, I found it down in just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. The car had actually, the previous owner, Chris Reese, had passed away, and it was through his estate that I ended up with the car. And Chris did a lot of research on the car, which was great because as far as documentation, it was all pretty much done. Then it was Fast Eddie Shartman's Airlift Rattler. Yep. When I got the car, it was had a different chassis under it, but I ended up they had the original chassis. Also, they were going to update it to race it, and that was back in the 90s when they had those plans. And I decided, well, when I bought it, I wanted to put it right back to the original Logie chassis under it, all the original suspension components, the rear end. It was pretty much all there except the motor. I got the original tranny that came with it. So it was a neat project that was pretty much complete. That made it a lot easier to restore.
Definitely, and a lot less expensive.
Exactly, and to chase down these parts from a car that was built back in 1968, that's extremely difficult.
Oh, it sure is.
Yeah.
Are you actually racing the car?
No, this car won't be raced. It's just display.
Strictly for show.
Only. I'll take and start it up at shows. But as far as running it down the track, it's just I don't think I'll ever take it down the track. It's one of the four. I believe there was 4 factory-built cars by Ford Mercury, and one was Dino Don Nicholson's. The other was Eddie Shartman's. Ken's and Leslie out of Colorado, and then there was I believe there was one more, and I'm not sure of the name, but I think it was 4 total. Yeah.
Where are you from, Kev?
New Hampshire.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're from New York. So,
oh, okay.
You're a little bit away,
we're kind of neighbors. Yeah.
Somewhat. Yeah,
that's
more so than out here.
That's right. Yeah.
How long have you been fooling with cars?
Oh, I've been working on cars since I was back, 13 years old or so. Yeah.
That's good. Speaking of New Hampshire, do you go to Epping?
We do. Yeah, yeah, we go there often. Yeah, there's a lot of history there, and that's
sure
a
is.
great track,
Sure
boy.
is. Do you follow at all the NASCAR, the Loudon circuit?
We go there every now and then.
Series.
Yeah, we go there every now and then and watch the catch the race up there. Yeah, yeah.
Years ago in Maine, just below, of course, you had Sanford, Maine. Was
Oh,
another drag
sure.
strip.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know
a.
if you remember that. You're a little bit too young, I think. To
And then there
remember
was
that.
Connecticut Dragway
Connecticut
too.
Dragway, sure.
Yeah,
That was,
yeah.
You would be old enough to have been there.
Sure, and we go over to Lebanon Valley also,
Right,
and
right.
yeah.
That's just down. That's just above, just north of me. You know, down in Westchester.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great track too. A lot of history there also.
My home track, you've probably never heard of it, but was Dover Drag Strip.
Okay.
Just below Lebanon Valley in Wingdale and Dutchess County, yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a film of Fast Eddie's other car.
Oh, really?
Running
Okay,
on the
his
track.
Comet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, I've actually been working on tracking down his 67 Comet, and I've got some pretty good leads on it, so hopefully something will become of
You
that.
never know what'll turn up.
That's right. It's it's amazing what's out there
What's
and
out there,
what you
that's
find.
it. You
Yeah.
gotta talk to the right people, that's all.
That's right.
Kev.
Yep.
Been a pleasure. Good luck with the car, and we hope to see you again somewhere.
All
I
right.
don't know, one of the shows.
Thank you, Dennis.
so much.
Yep. Good talking to you.
Right now I'm over in the what I'm going to call the gasser lane, because we got Freddie Bear's gasser and we got Dave Hales' gasser. We got Pam and Paul Balash and their beautiful WILLY'S coupe, which is, I believe, an all-steel coupe. You want to welcome you to the show?
It is.
Paul?
It is, Dennis.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure,
Thank you.
Pam. It's a pleasure meeting you. We didn't get a chance to see you last year. I know you were here, but we didn't get a chance to talk to you. But this car is was just unveiled, I believe, yesterday, or
It was. We had the official unveiling at 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and then we started it, and she sounds good.
Well, you know, hopefully at the end of the day, I'll get you when you start up and you leave. You know, I like to do that.
Well, I'm going to try and talk to Darwin into letting us do a cackle here sometime later in the day today.
I know they do cars. George walks around. George and I, and he walks around here every year. He picks out a car and asks them to start it up. I know that they do that. But if all of them start at once, that would be a real treat.
Yeah, it would.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So this, getting back to this car now, how long did it take to do it?
We found this car in the fall, and it took us about 4 months. That was back in the tail end of 2008. And we actually acquired the car late in December, and we rolled it off the trailer on the 29th of December. We completed the car on the 29th of June.
Wow, that's a real fast turnaround.
It's fast, and it needed a lot of work, but we had a good solid build plan. We knew what we were doing, and we went to work on it and got it done.
That's where you? Oh, you guys are from? I know what I want to ask you. You're from Virginia.
Fairfax Station, Virginia. I'm a retired Marine Corps colonel.
How are you?
And I'm a civil servant now in the Pentagon, so I work full-time as well. So figure that out.
How do you have time to go around?
You don't. You sacrifice all your off time to do this. We didn't go to dinner for 6 straight months. We worked on the car.
Is that how you keep Pam so thin?
We had a lot of help too. I mean, a lot of wonderful vendors that helped us when, we're very pleased.
That's good. Well, you know what? It's this hobby. Everybody sticks together anyway. They try to help out.
It is
someone when they're in need.
It is. We're if you were born between 1946 and 1964, you're a baby boomer, and we fall in that category. We grew up with this type of car, so now this is what we're doing.
What's the drivetrain? Tell me about the drivetrain.
Okay, it's an all-steel WILLY'S, 1941 WILLY'S coupe. Starting at the front, all the trim that you see on the car's original, it's been either polished or plated. It's got a 572, 720 horsepower Chevrolet crate motor. It's got a Muncie 4-speed transmission right out of the 60s. It's got a 9-inch Ford rear end, 456 gears, and it's a handful.
Boy, that's terrific. This is a real gasser.
It's a real gasser. It's got the nosebleed stance.
Yeah.
It sits up high in front. It's got all the characteristics that you'd see in the 60s. It's got the tack on the dash. It's got the moon gas pedal. It's got the Grant steering wheel. It's got black interior. It's right out of that era.
That's for sure. You're not going to take this to Beaver Springs, are you?
No, we're not going to take it to Beaver Springs. This is the absolute first showing. Next month, we're going to be down at Old Dominion Speedway.
Okay.
The following month, we're going to be at Clifton, Virginia. That's the only local show we go to.
Right.
And then in October, we're going to go down to Henderson, North Carolina,
Yeah, sure.
with the rest of the S&S crew.
Sure. Will you, just out of curiosity, would you consider firing it up and just, making a drive down the strip with it?
That's exactly what we're going to do at Old Dominion. We're going to do a ceremonial pass on
Okay.
it. Not too fast,
Right,
but
right.
we'll give the fans a show.
And does Pam drive? Do you allow Pam to drive the car?
She rides.
Ah, okay. All right. She's your
It's a
co-pilot.
it's a little bit too much of a handful for her.
Yeah. It's really great. When you mention a 4-speed, my ears perk up because that's the old days.
You got it.
I want to ask you something, Colonel. You said that from 46 to and on up are baby boomers. What about the prior?
Pre-46, you're a World War II baby.
Okay, all right. You know what? The best of luck with the car. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's just, I hope the camera does it justice. It's great that, you're able to finish this project and you're out back on the circuit again.
Well, Dennis, we did this for ourselves, but we also did it for all these people out here who enjoy this type of car.
And it's guys like you that make the memorial ceremonies and everything happen. It's guys like you that keeps it going.
Well, thank you.
I just try to bring it on tape.
Well,
so
thank you,
people
and
can
thank
see it
you.
elsewhere,
Thank you, Dennis. very
Thank you
much.
for the
so
opportunity.
Thank you so
Bam,
much.
pleasure.
Yes.
Many of you guys that are the old timers that recall drag racing and the gasser area will recognize Freddie Bear, famous S&S racing team with all their gassers. We got Freddie out here at York, but we're not going to talk about his gasser. We're going to talk about this new Nomad, this 55 Nomad that he built. So it's nice to see you out here again, Fred.
Oh,
nice to see you every
we
year.
wouldn't miss the York show. This
I
is
know,
just
I
an
know.
awesome
It is.
experience.
It
We
is.
we grew up, just west of here, and
yeah.
coming back to see everybody, and it's just an awesome weekend.
It is great. The ceremonies were real good last night. They were fun.
Yeah, we went up to had a 4-car match race at Quarter Aces up near Carlisle. They had a good crowd, real nice people. It was a fun time.
Just before we get into the car, you guys going to go up to Beaver Springs tomorrow?
I'm going to ride up with Rocky Perrone.
Right.
They made it we used to be able to get in with my rig on Sunday morning, but now it's a 2-day deal. We're back to, I just can't get in, so we're going to leave my rig. I'm going to ride up with them and match race Rocky, and I'm going to drive the KS33.
Oh, yeah, good for you.
Yeah,
That's
I drove
terrific.
it at
You're gonna be
Thompson.
up. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're going to recreate the old KS and Joe Perrone match race.
Right,
So we're looking forward to doing that.
We'll be looking forward to being there and videotaping it for sure.
Yeah.
But let's talk about this 55 Nomad here, because this was an unexpected pleasure.
I'm sorry, but there's my brother Joe Ciccone. Come on, Joe.
No, we got to talk about you in the car first. We'll bring Joe in after.
Okay, here he comes anyway. You got to get over to the
I
side.
did an interview yesterday with him.
All right.
I don't want to ruin your parade because I'm prettier than you.
Just stay here. We're going to talk about his Nomad. Tell us about the Nomad.
I bought the car at the Turkey Run about 7 years ago. Drove it for 5 and made some improvements and played with it. It was a fun car, and decided to make it. It was starting to have a little bit of rust here and there, and took it apart, and it became a major project instead of a
Well, don't they
simple
all?
deal.
Sure.
And since it was all apart and on the rotisserie, everybody says, "Well, you're going to put a big block in it?" And I said, "Nah, there's too many Tri-5s with big blocks." And I had a spare 354 for the WILLY'S, and I said, "Let's put that in it, and then we'll have the spare parts with us." So that's how it got to have me in it.
Did you do anything internally to the motor?
Hot Heads helped us with a lot of the parts. Bill Ford, who's local to the D.C. area originally, had Precision Engines, did all the machine work. It's got a clean-up bore and a Iski hydraulic roller and those kind of
the
things.
hydraulic rollers are the in thing now.
Oh, yeah, that's
Definitely.
real nice, and makes, on the dyno, it made a little over 400 pounds of torque at 3,100 and almost 400 horsepower. So it's real nice on the street. Got a 700R GM overdrive trans in it.
That's what I was going to ask you. You know what?
So I went ahead and, you know, being an old drag racer, put a 411 gear in it. So it gets it real nice, but put it in overdrive and it cruises real nice.
I bet you get some good gas mileage too.
It does get good gas mileage, but the main thing, it turns a lot of heads, and that's fun.
Yeah, well, these Nomads are great cars anyway.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I love this one.
You know, you put your own touches, your own techniques, your own details in it, and that's what makes it a little bit better. You know.
Yeah.
And of course, you do go back a long way. You've been involved. You're, you know, as well known as any of the old gassers. And no, this is great to see. I was surprised, you know, when they told me you brought a Nomad. But you know, it's very befitting. It's a great car.
This has had a career for years of push-starting cars at most of the NHRA Crackle Fest. For years, I pushed Larry Dixon Sr. in the Rattler because they're the same colors, and Steve Gibbs loved that. And this year at the Hot Rod Reunion in Bowling Green, we were fortunate enough to push Larry Dixon Jr. For the first time he's ever push-started. We did it with this little girl. So that was a real neat time. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, and Larry Sr. was next to us in the Smirnoff car, which he drove. So it was a tremendous Father's Day.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Especially for the Dixons.
Yeah, for sure. He's doing very well. Well, you know what? We're going to look forward to seeing you up at Beaver Springs tomorrow.
We'll be there.
And we got a few minutes of your time. I know we had to pull you out from the telephone, but that's, you know. Freddie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure. From Rice and Holman, you guys will remember Mr. Al JONIEC and his Fords. He's got his Mustang here with him, and we're going to say hello for a few minutes and greet you to Cars and Us.
This is a great show to be here and to see all my old buddies and have all these old great pictures that I never see before that guys bring to me and ask me to sign. They make me duplicates. It's just a pleasure. Beyond the cars is the personalities and the people behind it, and the fact that we really don't see each other other than these shows, which really makes it interesting.
That's unfortunate, but that's the way it is.
That's true.
They had a nice. The ceremony was nice last night. They inducted you into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I appreciate it. York is particularly fond of York because back in '63. At the York Regional, NHRA Regional, I beat Dick Brandon and Tasca and at the race and won the event, and that's how I got recognized by Ford. So it was really a big deal for me to be here at York because that really was the beginning. Then, of course, the Super Stock Nationals. There's a lot of fond memories here and a lot of startup features that I like about the place. Yeah.
This Mustang you have here now, this black one that's all lettered up.
It was just one of my. Well, it was just one of. At that time, we tried to get a new car every year. After a '68 car, I sold. I got a '69, and basically it was a 429. And what I took the engine out and put an overhead cam in it because the 429 was wide. They would modify the firewall, so there was no modification requirements. So it worked out real good. And it was a deal where we sold it, we put the 429 back in it, and then they just rotated it. And that's basically the process of how we did it.
It's really clean and really neat. I'd like to see this at Beaver Springs. You plan on taking it to Beaver Springs?
Well, it's not my car. It's Joe Spinelli.
Joe Spinelli is that right? I didn't realize. I thought it was.
No,
one of yours.
It's no longer my car. I don't have any cars. I can't afford them. They're too expensive. Yeah, I'm just a poor guy now. You know.
What are you doing nowadays?
Well, I'm basically into engine development, but not high performance. I'm into high efficiency engines.
I see.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. You're going to give us better gas mileage.
Well, I'm trying to. Solar energy, steam, that kind of stuff as well. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm from Philadelphia originally, and I'm now living in South Carolina.
Are you?
Yeah.
It seems like everybody's going down south for the warmer weather.
Well, it's warm weather is a big deal for me because when I get old, you know, your fingers get all gnarly and toes, and I like the warm weather.
Your blood thins out. You can't take the cold.
Exactly. Everybody don't go to the south for nothing.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But again, getting back to the cars, and there's a lot of cars here, and a lot of the old race cars, and certainly guys that you haven't seen, I imagine, in quite a while.
Well, Tasca Senior being here yesterday was a big treat for me. You know, Tasca really, we grew up together in that whole day. I mean, the son, the second, he now has a funny car team. It's such a pleasure to see his son competing, and then I've been at a few races with him, and it's really a pleasure to watch that whole evolution take place.
Right, generations.
And the same thing with this new Cobra Jet. I met him at the show where they painted my car, the 68 car, just like the new 2008 car, and it won the inaugural reintroduction of the Cobra Jet at the same race 40 years later with my name on it. And being there has really been a thrill.
I'm sure.
So it's been a thrill. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you're having fun touring the circuit.
Yeah.
And, it's a pleasure to see you, and I get a chance to talk to you for a few minutes. And, the
It's
best of luck.
It's always good.
And, you know, we'll, I guess we'll see you from time to time. Maybe out here again next year.
You can count on it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Al.
Right. Sure.
Pleasure.
Right.
One of the funny cars that were rather unique because it wasn't one of the big three. It was an AMX. You guys might remember this red, white, and blue car driven by Doug Thorley. The owner right here.
Grady Chilson.
Grady Chilson. And he's going to tell us all about it because I thought Doug Thorley was around looking at it. This is really a throwback. This is a thing from, right out of the past.
This is a 69 Javelin. American Motors in the late 60s had somewhere around 8-10 funny cars that campaigned mostly on the West Coast, and Doug Thorley had two. One was Javelin 1, one was Javelin 2. Javelin 1 was a rear-engine car, and this car here started out as a Corvair. And then when he got the sponsorship from American Motors, he converted it to a Javelin and campaigned that car. We have put this car together with the Thorley livery and decals to give people the opportunity today to see what American Motors was all about in their racing programs
back in the day, yes.
Back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, sure. What's the drivetrain in this?
The drivetrain is American Motors V8 blown 439 cubic inch with an automatic transmission and an Oldsmobile differential, and that was basically the drivetrain. The differential was basically what everybody used in funny cars back then, back in the day.
Sure. Well, I don't recall. You have to refresh my memory. The times and the ETs and the miles per hour this one.
These cars back then, in the early days of funny cars, were mid sevens to the low eights, and they were around 170 to 195 to 200 miles an hour. They were a handful.
Yeah, well, they all were. How did you come by this car?
I found this car in Wisconsin, and the guy had an accumulation of AMC cars, and we went up there and looked them over, and we pretty much thought this was the prize of the collection, and within a few months we had bought some of the cars, and this was one of them. And
how long did it take you to do it?
It took about a year to restore the car.
Not bad. That's a quick turnover. Yeah. Where are you from?
We're from Lawrenceville, Pennsylvania, which is about 3 hours north of here on the New York State border.
Well, yeah, you're close to us in New York. We're 4.5 hours away.
Whereabouts?
We're in Westchester.
Okay, yeah, you're near New York City.
We're just above New York City. That's correct.
We're east of there about 4 hours. We have a former AMC dealership that we've pretty much dedicated to AMC history. We have about a 3,000 square foot memorabilia room that holds 12, 14 cars and 40 some years of memorabilia.
That's terrific. Maybe during the winter time we'll get a chance to come out and do a story on your dealership.
Well,
we'd love to do that during the winter time.
If you come out, I'll show you around, and you'll see AMC history you've never seen before.
Sure. Well, because it was not a popular brand, so it would be interesting, especially to the younger viewers.
Well, in our hometown, it was #1.
Well, I'm sure of that. So was Doug Thorley. He was a terrific driver, and he did very well. With like I said, not being of the big three.
Yep. Labor Day weekend every year annually we have an all AMC show that's free of charge, and we invite all AMC people to to the show on Saturday of Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends, believe it or not, that that have strictly, AMC cars, and they're dedicated to the AMC division.
Go.
So so I'm a little bit familiar with them, but I recollect them running, but not not like the Fords and the Chevys and the Chryslers. They just weren't as popular. There wasn't that many around.
No. But we could hold our own in Trans Am racing, and
Yes.
and the Matador in Winston Cup was taking on the rest of the world.
Yeah.
They won a few races here and
Yeah,
there.
that's true. Gordy, thank you so much.
Hey, appreciate it.
your time, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the wintertime.
Yeah, come to
Really.
Lawrenceville.
Yeah, definitely. We'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you.